Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th episode of Cup Chronicles. I am Khabar Mahmood Awan. With me is Amir. With me is the treat expert, Amin Mahmood. मैं इसका कॉन्टेक्ट ज़रूर दूंगा क्यों मैं ट्रीट एक्सपर्ट बुला रहा हूँ. बिकॉज अमीन, जैसा कि आपको याद होगा लास्ट एपिसोड में हमने कहा था कि अमीन भाई ने अपना फाइनल कार्ड प्ले कर दिया पाकिस्तान को वर्ल्ड कप जितवाने के लिए. अमीन भाई ने शर्त लगा ली कि अगर पाकिस्तान वर्ल्ड कप जीतेगा तो वो ट्रीट दे रहे हैं. और नॉर्मली जब अमीन भाई ऐसे शर्तें लगाते हैं वो पूरी होती हैं. और वो जाहिर हुआ सैटरडे को कि क्यों वो ट्रीट वाली साइकोलॉजी आपकी अभी तक चल रही है.
यार बस यही किस्मत रह गई है, जब तक ट्रीट वाली साइकोलॉजी नहीं लगाए हैं तो कुछ होता नहीं है. मतलब एवरी टाइम आई हैव टू रिजॉर्ट टू दिस.
भाई आप जरा कमाई शुरू कर दें. इस तरह तो आपके बड़े पैसे लगवाने हैं हमने, क्योंकि ना सिर्फ हमने लगवाने हैं तो खुद चाहते हैं पाकिस्तान सारे वर्ल्ड कप जीते, चैंपियंस ट्रॉफीज और ये टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप जीते. तो आप तो बड़े पैसे लगा देंगे इस चीज़ पे.
आई माइट हैव टू स्किप अ कपल ऑफ टूर्नामेंट्स. सॉरी लाहौर कलंदर से तो बैक टू बैक नहीं करने वाला.
T20 वर्ल्ड कप के लिए बचाना नहीं, किसके लिए फिर?
खावर के डेब्यूट को छोड़ देते हैं, उसके अलावा बाकी सब गेम्स के लिए बचा लेते हैं.
हाँ खैर, कॉन्टेक्स्ट भी देते हैं भाई कौन सा डेब्यू. इतने अभी इतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ कि अभी टीम के लिए खेलूँ.
ओह माय गॉड. हाँ जी, तो हम आज क्या डिस्कस करें खावर भाई?
आज हम शुरू करेंगे हमारे emphatic win, our brilliant win over New Zealand that happened on Saturday. Let's start ahead with
let's get the score.
The batting scorecard of New Zealand. अल्लाह, हाफ स्टेज पे ये देख के जो दिल को दर्द हो रहा था कि ये सोचते हुए कि सेमीफाइनल की क्वालिफिकेशन के लिए हम मैच खेल रहे हैं, वो बस अमीन भाई ने तो पूरा अपना एक्सप्रेस किया था दर्द.
It was at this point where I went onto the WhatsApp group जिसमें हम सब दोस्त मौजूद हैं, और मैंने खावर को काफ़ी सुना दिया. I was like, भाई देखो, you have to be mad or deluded to believe कि we're actually going to chase this target down. और ये भाई साहब आगे से क्या बोलते हैं?
चिल करो. my go to line, चिल करो. हो जाएगा. ना सिर्फ मैंने इसको बोला था तो चिल करो, मैंने कहा था फ़खर डबल सेंचुरी बनाएगा, और फ़खर उसी पेस पे खेल रहा था. जिस तरह फ़खर खेल रहा था और जिस तरह बाबर एंकर कर रहा था, उसको स्ट्राइक रोटेट कर रहा था, आई वॉज प्रिटी श्योर कि या तो फ़खर ने शर्मा का रिकॉर्ड के करीब आना था जो इंडिविजुअल स्कोर, टॉप हाईएस्ट इंडिविजुअल स्कोर है, या उसने वो क्रॉस किया.
At the very least he'd become the first Pakistani batsman to score a double ton in World Cup.
No, yeah, double ton in a World Cup, and also maybe the first batsman to cross 250 in a World Cup as well.
It could have been.
Yeah, let's go back to the scorecard of New Zealand's batting. So Devon Conway was the first breakthrough. Hassan Ali got his 100th ODI wicket. और यहाँ पे हम सबको लग रहा था कि शायद यहाँ पे न्यूजीलैंड थोड़ा सा
we might be able to pull them back.
Yeah, because Williamson was coming back from injury. लेकिन विलियमसन भाई, एक विलियमसन कोहली तंग आए हुए हैं इनसे भाई. मतलब विलियमसन आधा लंगड़ाता हुआ आ रहा है, उसका अंगूठा टूटा हुआ है, लेकिन नहीं, वो छक्के तो हमें ऐसे मार रहा है जैसे पता नहीं वो उसकी बकरी चुरा के आए हुए हैं.
We've become the go-to team for players who are literally either recovering from injury or are extremely out of form and need a comeback.
We're just being इस पे थोड़ा
we are everyone's punching bag at this point.
Ravindra, he played well. He's been playing well throughout this entire tournament. And then the rest of the batting card, Mitchell, Chapman, Phillips and Santner, their contributions helped New Zealand get to that 400 score. ना सिर्फ उनके contributions ने help किया था भाई, ये extras 26 क्यों हैं? वो फुप्पी के बेटे हैं तुम लोगों के, क्या चल रहा है ये? मतलब हमने मतलब न्यूजीलैंड वालों ने हमें दो तीन एक्स्ट्रास दिए होने. ये क्या कर रहे हो भाई, तुम लोग बांट रहे हो एक्स्ट्रास यार ये तो.
And this is what I don't like about our bowling, the fact that we चलो ठीक है, आई गेट दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू टेक विकेट्स, आई गेट दैट यू आर ट्राइंग टू गेट योर लाइन एंड लेंथ सेट, लेकिन इतना भी तो ना करो ना यार कि वाइड पे वाइड दिए जा रहे हो.
ठीक है, होता है, यू टेक 1 or 2 balls टू गेट योर लाइन सेट. आप इतने भी
एक दो वाइड्स की चलो समझ आती है,
एक दो वाइड्स वो भी पहले ओवर में समझ,
बट ये 5 वाइड्स जो दे बैठते हैं ना हम साथ में,
जो नो बॉल्स करा रहे हैं भाई, नो बॉल्स पे काम करो. क्या हो गया हमें, ये कुछ हमने जहाँ पे हम फील्डिंग इंप्रूव करते हैं वहाँ पे बॉलिंग की हमारी ऐसी की तैसी हो जाती है भाई. थोड़ा हल्का
प्लीज यार,
थोड़ा सा हल्का हल्का,
इस तरह के हार्ट अटैक्स नहीं दो
जो बात है. बट हाँ, इस स्टेज पे मैं तो खैर आई वाज लाइक चेस शुरू होने का, बिकॉज आई न्यू एट द बैक ऑफ माई माइंड कि यार ये एक मस्ट विन मैच है. अगलों ने ना सिर्फ मस्ट विन है, ये नेट रन रेट भी इन्होंने सीधा करना है.
बट यू रिलाइंग ऑन द पिच कंडीशंस.
ये कुछ आई वाज रिलाइंग ऑन द पिच, बिकॉज देखो जिस तरह हम भी अपनी बैटिंग में जा रहे थे, फ़खर ने कहा था कि यार ये 450 का भी टारगेट होता हम कर लेते, विच शोज के आर बॉलिंग एक्चुअली डिड वेल, बिकॉज ये तो 450 की पिच थी और ग्राउंड भी जितना छोटा था, it was a 450
And
pitch.
yes, speaking of conditions, Wasim Junior, hats off man. That reverse, that late the reverse swing bowling and crucial wickets in the middle to end phases. Yeah, that was
जब रविंद्र और विलियमसन दोनों आउट हुए, आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि थोड़ा सा न्यूजीलैंड, आई थिंक रविंद्र और विलियमसन का आउट होना वर्स की, लोगों की चीज़ नहीं रियलाइज हो रही, बट एट द पेस they were starting to pick up because Williamson was near his ton and Ravindra had crossed the 100 mark. They could have excelled there and New Zealand could have gone to 450. So that those wickets came at a crucial time. They came a bit late, but I think जिस तरह pitch थी, ये बैटिंग पैराडाइज थी एक, और बाबर की डिसीजन टू बॉल फर्स्ट वाज करेक्ट, और वो हमने देख लिया. बिकॉज ना सिर्फ देखो भाई,
we can't even blame catches, can we? Because I don't think there were
कोई chances,
there were no chances,
they were not even half chances भी नहीं निकल रहे थे. इतनी गंदी पिच थी भाई, बॉलर्स के लिए कुछ था ही नहीं उस पिच में. और वो एविडेंट था यार जिस बॉल पे, विल कम टू वैसे द सेकंड इनिंग्स, बट आई जस्ट वांट टू से कि द डिसीजन टू बॉल फर्स्ट वाज फाइन, बिकॉज हम टारगेट नहीं सेट कर सकते ऐसे.
That was a brilliant piece of 4D chess. मतलब बाबर knowing कि it's going to rain.
Going to rain, but हम नहीं कर सकते टारगेट सेट, बिकॉज हमें पता ही नहीं होता, हमारे बॉलिंग को नहीं पता. क्योंकि देखो ना सिर्फ हमारे बॉलिंग को नहीं पता होता कि हमने किस तरह डिफेंड करना है, या तो हमारे
बैटिंग first he would have taken up more dot balls than he would have during the
chase. या तो हमारी बैटिंग को नहीं समझ आ रही होती हमने क्या कितना टारगेट देना है, या तो फिर बस कंडीशंस ऐसी हो जाती हैं.
Could we have done the same thing in Chennai to avoid those losses?
Not really, because अफगानिस्तान वाले में तो आपकी अपनी गलती थी, आपने अपनी लाइन सीधी नहीं की थी. बट व्हेन यू लुक एट दैट साउथ अफ्रीका गेम, इट वाज द राइट कॉल, बिकॉज साउथ अफ्रीका चेजिंग में वीक था, और ऊपर से आपकी बॉलिंग की फॉर्म भी नहीं थी कि आप पहले वहाँ पे बैट फर्स्ट करते हैं, देन रिलाई ऑन योर बॉलिंग टू डिफेंड अ टारगेट लाइक दिस, स्पेशली नोइंग कि न्यूजीलैंड की बैटिंग लाइनअप, इवन दो इट इज डिप्लीटेड विद इंजरीज, इट इज स्टिल डूइंग वेल, बिकॉज नॉट ओनली दे डिड नॉट हैव विलियमसन, दे डिड नॉट हैव चैपमैन as well.
They didn't even play Kyle Jamieson, the guy who was supposed to replace Matt Henry. He wasn't in the playing 11 that day.
Well, with that being said, let's go to the match summary. I don't need Pakistan's batting scorecard भाई, ये दो ऊपर के काफ़ी हैं, ये इन्होंने ही रन्स बनाए थे सारे जाके. Well, that score, look at that summary. New Zealand being put into bat first by Babar Azam. Again, a very good call. New Zealand posting 4-1 for 6 in their 50 overs. Ravindra, Williamson, their top scorers. In the bowling side, Wasim picked 3 for 60. Was expensive, but I don't think. And
he was arguably your best bowler.
Yeah, he was arguably the best bowler. I mean, everyone was expensive, but picked up wickets. Iftikhar getting 1 wicket. Hassan Ali getting 1 wicket. Iftikhar got the crucial wicket of Williamson. So Iftikhar's bowling well. In reply, because of rain, Pakistan needed to score 179 in 25.3 overs, but they were well ahead of that by 21 runs. Hence,
thanks to that over from Sodhi.
From Sodhi, not only that, but those innings from Fakhar and Babar. Actually, Fakhar ki innings, we all know, everyone's appreciating that, and करनी भी चाहिए. It was a very good innings. It was an outstanding innings. We've seen some incredible centuries, like Maxwell की हमने देखी, हमने क्लासन की देखी, हमने think मार्क्रम ने भी एक तेज सेंचुरी बनाई थी against England.
Yeah. The fastest century in a World Cup.
वो तो Maxwell, that was Maxwell.
अच्छा, okay.
That was Maxwell. But all those centuries, those well-paced centuries,
those were in the first innings.
In the first innings.
Under little pressure.
Not only was this while chasing, it was while chasing a target
400 runs
against
New Zealand
and against the bowling attack of Saudi and Bolt. I'm sorry, but this
demolition job.
This was outstanding. This was amazing. Regardless pitch जैसी हो भाई, हमें पता है बोल्ट और सऊदी हमारे लिए कितने डेंजरस हैं.
और जो आप बात कह रहे थे ठीक है, we're all appreciating Fakhar Zaman, but let's not forget the role that Babar played that day.
Yeah, so जिन लोगों को डकवर्थ लुइस का नहीं अंदाज़ा, आई थिंक वही लोग हैं जिनको वो बाबर की इनिंग्स का नहीं रियलाइज़ हो रहा. Those who don't know how Duckworth Lewis method works, it works on how many wickets you have lost. The main thing that you have to keep in mind with Duckworth Lewis is don't lose many wickets. और यही किया. Babar from the other end decided not to give his wicket away, attack every loose ball he got, and keep rotating the strike. And Fakhar from the other end was attacking. Hence why we stayed above the Duckworth Lewis method. Had Babar started playing rashly and lost his wicket, I'm just going to give you the example from the 20th over. Pakistan's DLS par score in the 20th over at the loss of 1 wicket was 142. But at the second wicket, it was 161. So it was a difference of 19 runs. एक wicket का और ये ना exponentially increase होता रहता है. अगर आप दूसरी के बाद तीसरी
the more wickets you lose, उतना DLS par score आपका बढ़ता जाएगा.
It doesn't even increases linearly. It increases exponentially because ये एक पूरा table है. जिन्होंने A level maths में S1 पढ़ा है, जो Z table होता है, ये उस method से करके निकालते हैं ये.
I've heard about this a lot. A levels में
Z tables actually fun, but yeah, that's the method they use. उसकी जो application है वो इधर ही आके apply होती है. ये जो even CI के threshold होते हैं.
I'm so glad I did not take A level mathematics. I would have not understood this stuff.
वो भी इसी तरह निकालते हैं ना. You actually have to take out some value, compare it with the Z table, and then उससे corresponding value आपको लिखनी होती है. That Z table is provided you in the exam. But yeah, that's how they calculate the Duckworth-Lewis method. So Babar's innings was sensible. It was crucial. Nevertheless, फखर जमान, क्या बात है सर आपकी, क्या धोया आपने अगलों को.
The decision to bench Imam and bring him back.
That decision would have come early. It would have never come in the Afghanistan game because he was coming back of a very good knock against Australia. But it could have come in the South Africa game, especially seeing कि Fakhar always plays well against South Africa. Not only that, but Imam नहीं perform कर रहा था. But obviously due to injury, his return got delayed to the Bangladesh game. I think अगर Fakhar उस वाले game में आ जाता,
Fakhar could have added easily 30-40 extra runs.
Yeah, 30-40 at the very least. And we could have gotten that win easily. क्योंकि हमने जब बांग्लादेश वाले गेम में देखा, he had properly worked on himself. He was batting well.
उससे पूरी इंटरव्यू में बोला था ना कि I was not idle. I went back to Pakistan and then he went to his fielding coach and his batting coach. He went to Peshawar. उससे पूरी बात बताई है कि मैं आफ्ताब खान नाम है कोच का, पता नहीं कौन.
During the World Cup? Or was that before the World Cup?
I think it was because even during the World Cup players on and off जाते रहते हैं. जिस तरह ये मिचेल मार्श अभी गया है.
शाकिब भी गया था.
हाँ, मिचेल मार्श भी अभी गया है and he's supposed to come back before the semi-final.
That's subject to his personal reasons, so we don't know about that. But yeah, Fakhar batted well. He batted very well. And
two crucial points for Pakistan.
Yeah, 2 crucial points for Pakistan. I also want to show you one thing. आदत ये ना कि उन्होंने तो ऑनलाइन कोचिंग लेनी है.
दिल पाकिस्तानी राहत फतेह अली खान की कवाली सुना तो मैं मानूंगा.
अब तो दिल पाकिस्तान का भी नहीं होना चाहिए भाई. अब तो मेरे ख्याल में फैंस को चाहिए वो खुद गाना शुरू कर दें. अगर
इंडियन मिकी आते हैं कि लिटरली इतनी सीरियसली बात है, तो इंडियन फैंस उस दिन सपोर्ट कर रहे थे यार बैंगलोर में पाकिस्तानी टीम को.
बैंगलोर से याद आया, यू नो बैंगलोर किसका ग्राउंड है? आरसीबी का सबसे अहम प्लेयर कौन है?
विराट कोहली.
और फिर किसके चैंट्स चल रहे थे उस दिन एम चिन्नास्वामी स्टेडियम में? बाबर आजम. There were Babar Azam chants.
I heard those.
So Babar Azam के chants at Kohli's ground.
Hmm.
That's like people at Gaddafi chanting Virat Kohli.
You might get to see that in Champions Trophy 2025. You never know.
आ तो जाओ भाई, प्लीज आ जाओ यार, खेल लो यहाँ पे, हम नहीं मारेंगे तुम लोगों को. खैर,
That's it for the Pakistan game, I think.
No, one more. The situation right now is this: Pakistan is 130 runs behind New Zealand. So if New Zealand wins by 50 runs against Sri Lanka, we need to beat England by 180 runs. That's why I think what Pakistan needs to do is put England into bat. If the conditions are like fine, okay, let's say they're fine, आप batting भी कर सकते हैं, bowling भी. Put England to bat first. Get them out on a low total, because England have been doing that the entire tournament against any sort of quality pace attack. Any sort. The only time
not just pace, even against spin. उस दिन Zampa ने हाथ पे
हमारे पास स्पिन कहाँ से, नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट है हमारी स्पिन.
हमारे पास तो नहीं है, बट मैं एक जनरल बात कर रहा हूँ.
Zampa तो भाई he did not just आते हैं उस गेम पे, but bat first, bowl them out under 200, chase it down with, I don't know, 20-25 overs to spare, easily take over New Zealand regardless of how big they win. Because यार I think अगर आप चेस करते हुए जीतते हैं ना with more overs to spare, उसका impact ज़्यादा आता है as compared to
defending a total.
थोड़ा सा I have noticed this.
Sri Lanka India wala game was also a pretty big indicator. I expected Sri Lanka to be like bottom of the table in terms of net run rate.
Because we're so far into the tournament, the effect of net run rate, the effect of big defeats is actually a bit diluted now. I think that's the correct word. Yeah, it's a bit diluted now. So this thing, I think it was Harsha Bogle who said this. Yeah, it'll be a bit diluted now. But yeah, coming on to the other game that day, the day and night fixture that day, Australia and England. So 20 wickets in that game. Overall, both teams got bowled out. But for Australia, it wasn't the best batting display yet.
They were struggling at the start.
But yet they put on a good total thanks to that brilliant innings from Marnus Labuschagne, 71 of 83. Greensmith both playing cameos. Stoinis towards the end, he also played well. Adam Zampa actually got 24 runs with the bat of 12 balls. And so not only did Zampa contribute with the bat, but he also contributed with the ball. England's bowling, Vokes bowling brilliantly, 4 wickets, two wickets for Rashid and Wood. Well, England in reply, it's not the usual story.
It's been the story of the tournament for them, though.
It's the story of the tournament, just losing, but they came much closer than they have in recent times. 253, Stokes being their top contributor with 64 of 90. Malan played a good innings of 50 of 64. Moeen Ali, who tried to take on Zampa, couldn't get more than 42 or 43.
Moeen Ali himself.
And look at that, Chris Vokes towards the end, putting a cameo of 32 of 33. थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे उम्मीद आ रही थी कि शायद ले जाए. But yeah, Zampa, the bowler of that match, because he got Butler, he got Stokes.
People talk about Stark and Hazelwood. Oh, this guy is the real threat.
21 runs in just 10 overs. Economical.
At times unplayable.
And got 3 very crucial wickets. So that is how the Saturday game played out. The games.
However, just one thing from this game very quickly. Moeen Ali said that it's the end of an era for England cricket.
He tweeted that it's the end of an era for England cricket. So
especially Joe Root jaisa player has had a terrible World Cup.
So you're telling me that had Morgan not retired, this would have been a different story.
Morgan himself was trying to be humble and was like, me being there would not have made much of a difference. But then again, I guess
your captain leads from the front, and Morgan in that World Cup clearly led from the front in the one they won. But I don't think even Morgan's retirement, maybe format to format.
Butler's captaincy can't have been that. This is the same guy who won them the T20 World Cup last year.
You have to also keep this in mind, it's different formats. Maybe Butler is a good T20I captain. But
Stokes is coming back from... Stokes is still... By the way, Ben Stokes is still to have a knee surgery.
Is Brook injured? Or was he just benched to accommodate Stokes?
He was benched to accommodate Stokes.
That was stupidity at its best, in my opinion.
They were hoping कि Stokes के आने से कोई impact आ जाएगा, लेकिन the thing is, even he still needs to have a knee surgery, which means he's carrying an injury into the tournament.
I think they should have played Harry Brook, because he's your future भाई. हमारे खिलाफ नहीं खिलाना, खुदा के वास्ते अब नहीं खिलाना. नहीं खिलाना हमारे खिलाफ. नीदरलैंड्स का गेम आ रहा है, उसको खिला लो.
शाहीन और हारिस का टीममेट है लाहौर कलंदर्स में, प्लीज ये ना करना कि उसको खिला दिया उस दिन.
खुदा के सैम करन को नहीं अब डालना टीम में. PTSD होते हैं मुझे सैम.
We're okay with Mark Wood, we're okay with Chris Wokes, just please no Sam Curran, no Harry Brook.
ये दो प्लेयर नहीं चाहिए मुझे. PTSD होता है इनको देख के मुझे. खैर, before we go to the points table, श्रीलंका भाई.
Huge developments from Sri Lanka. अच्छा, कल श्रीलंका और बांग्लादेश का मैच था. Very quick update. श्रीलंका got bowled out for 279 to 80 का टारगेट दिया बांग्लादेश को. बांग्लादेश chased it down
with 8 overs to spare.
With 8 overs to spare, 3 wickets, and they lost a couple of wickets near the end, लेकिन they made it over the line fairly comfortably, I'd say. And उसके लेकिन that's not the real. असल खबर हुई है उसके बाद overnight.
It actually wasn't overnight. It actually happened.
India game के बाद.
India game के बाद, morning of yesterday's game.
But it's only breaking on the news everywhere now, I think.
And the entire Sri Lankan board has been fired by the Sri Lankan sports minister.
Let that sink in for a minute. Puri cricket board.
Yeah, there's no... So they'll have to rebuild.
They have an interim committee for the moment.
Entire structure.
Led by their 1996 World Cup winning captain, Arjuna Ranatunga. This is something that Pakistan cricket board should be reflecting on. यार
पाकिस्तान
जो powers होते हैं ना एक sports minister के over all the other boards, do we have that kind of structure in this country?
We don't. Honestly, as of now, I don't think this board will fix in the near future. Up until the new government comes, then you can have some hope कि new government किसकी आती है, वो क्या करते हैं. Because अभी interim government है, उनका focus sports पे अभी होगा ही नहीं, considering country के अभी और हालात इतने ख़राब हैं. इसलिए I mean, I hope जो नए आए हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, जो भी हुकूमत आए, वो PCB के चेयरमैन सिस्टम को इलेक्शन बेस्ड कर दें. बिकॉज यार प्राइम मिनिस्टर के पास और बहुत
और ऊपर से कोई स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर बैठाएं who can at least oversee what the chairman is doing,
veto some decisions,
and can like fire the board, the kind of the way this
देखो. because यार प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने सारे काम करने, तो मिनिस्टर्स क्यों बैठा के रखे हैं उसने.
दिस इज वन थिंग जो मुझे इमरान खान के दौर में नहीं समझ. लाइक व्हाई आर यू आस्किंग हिम टू फिक्स द पीसीबी? भाई टेक्निकली इट्स नॉट हिज जॉब अलोन. यू नीड टू हैव अ स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर जो इन चीज़ों को ओवरसी करे.
इमरान खान शुड हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड अ प्रॉपर सिस्टम ड्यूरिंग हिज टेन्योर. बट देन अगेन यार उस टाइम पे टेन्योर में हमें रमीज राजा दे दिया था, और वो रमीज राजा
he was so close to breaking the matrix.
Ramiz Raja's tenure has been one of the best tenures I've ever seen.
He's the kind of chairman you want.
या तो एक वो सेठी का था जब PSL शुरू हुआ था.
That was good domestically, I'd say.
But internationally, भाई, that era of 2021, 2022 World Cup, that was incredible, यार. You actually had hope of before a match कि हम कुछ करके जाएंगे.
Expectations बढ़ गई थी. बात तो सही है भाई.
Let's go to the points table now.
Where are we after? अच्छा, ये points table जो है खावर भाई, is this after yesterday's fixture between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka?
This is after yesterday's fixture.
So this is the latest points table. This does not include the fixture जो आज अभी इस वक्त हो रहा है between Australia and Afghanistan.
Yes. Okay. So let's from the top. India qualified with 8 wins in 8. Yes, 8 wins in 8 with the healthy.
With a game to spare, that too against the Netherlands.
So India are officially locked in first position because they defeated South Africa and heavily defeated South Africa. No team can overtake India on points now. So India will be playing that first semi-final, and South Africa will be playing that second semi-final. So these two spots are confirmed. In third place, you have Australia, who will most likely make it to the semis. They're on 10
Who are
points.
playing today against
Who are playing today
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, they win it. They not only qualify themselves, but they help us as well by throwing up.
And they secure that third place
They-
spot for themselves.
Yes. So as of now, realistically, 3 teams are in a fight for that final spot: New Zealand, Pakistan, Afghanistan, who all are on 8 points. Afghanistan with 1 game in hand, like 2 games in hand actually, but they will. But we'll know the result of today's game. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they are all out. Bangladesh was out of the race, but Sri Lanka is now out of the race for the semi-finals. And Netherlands in 9th place. If they can
For the teams below Afghanistan, I think it's just about competing for the champions.
Actually, Netherlands is still mathematically in the race for the semi-finals because of their poor net run rate. They are 9th.
However, but even for the teams eliminated, the Champions Trophy is still an important.
England 10th. This has been
A horrendous World Cup for them, regardless of how these last 2 games go.
If I even jog my memory, this has to be the worst title defense.
England have never been knocked out in the group stages of a World Cup.
They have.
ODI World Cup. At
Yes,
least.
they have.
When?
2015.
Oh, 2015.
2015. But no, I'm
That's
talking.
what Owen Morgan was talking about.
But what I'm talking about is this has to be the worst title defense I've ever seen, because West Indies, they defended the title once, they then lost in the final. India made it to the semis the next when they had to defend theirs. Australia and England, their title defenses have been very bad. And even Sri Lanka in the 1999 one. But the rest, they have done fairly well when it comes to defending the title.
हम भी क्वार्टर फाइनल तक चले गए थे 96 में.
Australia, England, these are surprising teams.
You don't expect England to be bottom of the points table at the very least.
Well, that's pretty much it for the point table. Now, when we talk about scenarios of how Pakistan can make
अब
it. to
आगे
this-
क्या situation है खारवे, because we only have a few games left in the group
We only
stages.
have a few games left. Okay, so tomorrow's game, England Netherlands. I'm going to start with England Netherlands.
आज वाले से ना शुरू करें जो अभी चल रहे
यार
हैं.
आज वाले को तो पता है क्या चाहिए. ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीते, सीधी बात है.
Australia have to beat Afghanistan.
Because if
वो तो it's pretty straightforward.
Australia wins, then Afghanistan can finish at a maximum of 10 points, and since we have a better net run rate, we'll overtake them on net run rate. Even if they by any chance beat South Africa, I don't think they will. So it's difficult for Afghanistan to qualify right now.
तो coming to the England Netherlands game,
स्कोर चेक करें आप जरा फोन पे.
हमारे स्पर्स वाले दोस्त के भी मैसेज आ गए. हाँ भाई, दोस्त का या उसका?
मैं वो देखना चाह रहा हूँ स्कोर. अरे यार तो मार रहे हैं. 103 2 for 2
In 27 overs.
नहीं भाई, अफगानिस्तान का स्पिन अटैक.
ट्रो वो भागना पड़ गया. दूसरा भी अभी आउट हुआ है
भाई
apparently.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हरा देंगे, फंस जाएंगे हम.
This is not looking good, but खैर Afghanistan 132 for 2 in 27
So
overs
as of now,
against
by the
Australia.
looks of, but I hope Australia wins.
They've started brilliantly. Let's see what
but
Australia
I
do.
think Australia can crumble Afghanistan. Afghanistan ने पहले मैच में भी हरकत की थी. They were going well against Bangladesh, but they just crumbled all of a sudden to 150. So who knows, Afghanistan have that in them. भैया आज का गेम ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीते. कल का गेम
England versus
Netherlands. Now as much as Pakistanis have पाकिस्तानियों की जितनी हमदर्दी है नेदरलैंड से, मैं जानता हूँ, मैं खुद चाहता हूँ कल नेदरलैंड्स जीते ताकि वो चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी की क्वालिफिकेशन कंफर्म करें. बट
That will be bad for us.
that will be bad for us. Why? Because if Netherlands wins tomorrow, that
leaves no chances for England to make it even to the Champions
very
Trophy.
little chances because very little chances because of Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, they'll lose their final games, and England has a better net run. England defeats us and has a better net run rate than one of the two teams. Then both teams balke. Then they will be able to make it the Champions Trophy. So it becomes very difficult for England to then qualify if they lose against
And that
Netherlands.
takes pressure off England for the match against
So I
Pakistan.
want England to win tomorrow, so that they'll come under some pressure against us, because we'll have more pressure than England, because हमें net run rate से रहना होगा. वो अलग बात है. We'll know the equation before.
However, all
Saturday.
of this is assuming that New Zealand actually win their game against Sri Lanka. But now let's come to that.
Yeah. So people are
Thursday,
thinking
9th
either
November,
New
हाँ.
Zealand wins or Sri Lanka wins. No, there's a third option as well. The game gets washed out, because from 11 p.m. to 6 p.m. if being specific, there's
7
a
p.m.